Today, I'm going to be revealing my $100,000 a year blog plan. And yes, this works in the face of AI and actually thrives even more using AI. Today, we're going to be revealing exactly how. I'm going to show you everything step by step. Plus, I'm going to prove to you why SEO is not dead, and anyone who's claiming it isn't really paying attention. These are things you need to pay attention to if you want to start blogging and make a living online. Now, before we get started, I know a lot of people are going to be like, okay, am I going to watch a video, set up a blog, and get rich overnight? And the answer is no. In fact, the average person trying to make money online makes nothing. So take what you're about to learn with a grain of salt. This takes a lot of work and effort, and even then, there's little pitfalls and things that might not go as planned. So treat this like a business. And remember, today's live stream is about you. If you have any question about how to blog and make money online, make sure you put it in the comments box so I can go through and answer your questions right here, right now, live. So, without any further ado, welcome to my brand new $100,000 a year AI blog setup. Come on, let's go to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about how the AI blogging plan works, how I plan on building up more $100,000 a year blogs, how I currently run seven-figure blogs, and what you need to know about how all of this fits. What we're going to do is look at this as a business rather than just a pie-in-the-sky, get-rich-quick kind of thing, because what this is something where you're going to build it up and grow it over time, and you might start out making a little bit here and there or whatever it is, and then building and growing. But I want you to remember that nothing is guaranteed. We're just going to look at this like a business, look at the details, look at the stats, and show you my plan for building this up. Now, I'm going to be revealing a new plugin and some new tools that I am creating for the process of building these blogs and profiting with them, and we're going to show you everything step by step. One of the tools we're going to be looking at today is the AI roadmap, which is what this looks like here. It is the setup to going from a niche and domain to setting up your blog, content creation, and everything. Now, what I want you to remember at the get-go is there's two things. When we talk about blogging, and of course, always post your questions about blogging in the chat box so we can answer those. There's two things we have to look at when we're looking at blogging. And that is that the common misconception of, hey, I'm just out there blogging, talking about things I like, talking about, what I had for breakfast or whatever. That's not really what we're looking at. What we're doing is we're using blogging as a platform. Okay, this is our platform, or as it's called, I think it's a content management system, CMS. Now, when we use it this way, what we're doing is we're using WordPress or whatever blog tool we're using. In our case, we are using WordPress to structure our site to get traffic and make money. So this is the first big misconception about blogging, is that you're going to have to blog every day, you have to keep on track of this, you have to talk about your life and your story and everything like that. That is not true. The second misconception is that blogging is all about SEO or ranking on Google to get traffic. Now, while we are going to talk about the fact that SEO is in fact not dying, dead, or gone, we're going to talk about some other methods as well. It's not just about SEO. We are going to use other traffic methods. I have used paid traffic to blogs. I've used social media traffic to blogs. I have used all kinds of different traffic to blogs to make them work. Now, the key is in being able to set up your blog like a money machine, right? What we want to do is we want to make it very, very focused. A lot of people have looked at funnels as a way of marketing. They look at ClickFunnels and all these other programs where it's like, okay, ClickFunnels and everything like that look great and wonderful and whatever, but what are they? Well, they're glorified content management systems. What is content? Well, it's something you have on the web. It could be an opt-in page. It could be an advertorial. It could be an information page. It could be a page or post designed to rank on Google. All of that is part of your funnel. So what we're going to be doing is setting up our blog as a funnel. Now, we're going to set that up in two different ways. One, we can set it up for SEO, and the other way, we're going to set it up for direct traffic. The two will not meet. Sometimes our SEO traffic will go to the direct traffic places, but not too often will it be the other way around. More often than not, we're trying to get our traffic in from organic stuff and drive them to what makes us money. This is the key, remembering that there's only two sides of the coin. When we look at the coin here, we're going to go through and we are going to say, okay, one side of the coin is getting traffic. The other side is getting that traffic to convert, which is where we get paid. Now, oftentimes a lot of bloggers think, okay, well, there's only a couple ways to get paid. What do I run ads on my blog? What am I going to do? Well, there's lots of ways to get paid. We can actually get paid with affiliate marketing. We can get paid with our own products. We can get paid with private label products and things like that. All different kinds of stuff that we could get paid on. You could do ClickBank offers. You could do stuff like AdSense and things like that. Now, if you're just relying on AdSense and Ezoic to make money, I think you're vastly missing the entire point of how things work, and you're setting yourself up for failure because that is what the search engines are coming down hard on. It's what they've always come down hard on. That was something in 2000, I think it was 2003 or 2006 when they came out with the whole MFA idea, which was made for AdSense, which is, okay, your blog is just made for AdSense. That's all there is. It's not made for humans. It's made for AdSense, which meant they were just trying to get a bunch of traffic and get paid on the ads. So these are things we want to watch out for. We are going to make an ethical, good blog based on our niche, based on real world stuff. And I got to tell you, sometimes I have seen blogs out there that one post or page makes more money than some people make in a year, which is crazy. And we got to understand where that comes from. Now, we're going to be looking at several things. One, we're going to be looking at the AI-powered profit pipeline as per Blog Profit Network. And then two, we are going to be looking at a brand new plugin that I just created, which is going to go through and have links and tools and AI-enabled stuff. Now, we will have a small version of this plugin available for people who want to get it, and then we will have a big version of it that is AI-powered in Blog Profit Network. I'll talk to you about that as well. Now, before you go out there and say, okay, are you just trying to get us to Blog Profit Network? Well, yeah, I worked hard on these plugins. They work. This is 25 years of experience put into an AI-enabled plugin that basically helps you do pretty much everything, and anything you're left out on, you can get help on calls. So yeah, that is part of it. Now, the other part is I want you to look at the flow and the process of how this works, because this is all based on a flow. We've actually gone through and looked at how blogging works step by step and anticipated the things and the struggles people are going to have and the things they're going to need to make this work. So if you desire to make money online blogging, listen up. Now, before we go into that even deeper, what I want to do is I want to look at this idea of AI is taking over the search engines, AI is making it so we can't rank, all of these things. Now, if we were to take a look at the last 6 months, which I think are the most important when it comes to the Google rankings, we can see that big sites like Quora lost a little bit of traffic, like I think about maybe 12% of traffic if you do the math there. Not a big hit. Probably something normal. And again, remember, Ahrefs is not the be-all, end-all. I guarantee Quora is getting way more than 140 million visitors a month. So we got to look at that. Now, as we go through, there were some cool things that I noticed were added to Ahrefs, which I thought were pretty helpful. We'll go through those now and show you how it works. And then I'm going to show you a list of blogs and things that I constantly monitor. Yes, this is something I do on a day-to-day basis. This is what I do for a living. I am obsessed with this stuff. That's how it works. Now, going through here, what we could see is Ahrefs has added the Google AIO, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. Looks like Perplexity is still trying to keep up. Now, someone is saying, when is the new plugin going to be available? We should have a demo later this week. Make sure you go to AIProfitScoop.com, get on the list, everything like that, or downloadmynotes.com or whatever. Just make sure you're on some kind of list that I have. That way you get it when it's emailed out. That will be the only way you can get it. If you want to skip ahead and get the AI version, just go to blogprofitnetwork.com, get yourself signed up, and then you can get that one as soon as it's out as well. Now, when going through, and I'll show you the difference, they're basically the same plugin. One, you just have to log into your VPN account to make it work. So, pretty cool. Now, going here, what we see is these are added, and then I also noticed that down here, they have a spot for branded versus non-branded, and then they have organic positions by intent. This is a very, very important thing to look at, okay? When looking at this, we're seeing the trend of informational go up on Quora right here, like a lot of their traffic that went up. They probably would have lost a lot more traffic had their intent informational not gone up, right? They're at, what, 268 million rankings for that. So looking at that is kind of important. Also, taking a look at stuff like Wikipedia, again, not much of a drop. Going through and looking at their intent, again, informational, is big. WikiHow, which is a commercial version of these, okay, we could drop down, let's do the last 6 months here, give it a fair shot as per the other ones. And we could see here that it lost about 2.4 million, or roughly, I'm going to say, what is that, about 18%, something like that. Gained a lot in Google AIO, which means they're showing up in Google snippets and things like that. This is all going to make sense why we care about this in a minute. Again, going down and looking at the branded and the positions by intent, we see everything's pretty much the same. The one that's fluctuating the most is informational. What does this mean? This means that blogs that are trying to rank for how to tie your shoe, how to run faster, things like that are more volatile to AI. Think about things that AI could answer that a blog wouldn't answer, right? Could I get the best price on a Keurig coffee pot? Yes, AI could do that for me. However, could I get experience of which coffee pot does X, Y, and Z? Maybe, maybe not. So we're seeing a change happen with these. Now, when we go through and we look at how we're going to set up our site and our blog, and we look at the pipeline or flow, what we're going to do is this model, and we're going to do it in the exact way that I tell you. This is important. A lot of people skip ahead or do something in the wrong order, which is why they have trouble. Okay, we got to look at that and understand it. Someone says, how do I get my Amazon product more sales? Well, you'd start a blog and drive a bunch of traffic to it, or start social media or something like that. This is going to be about all of that. No matter what you are promoting, this works if you do it. You just have to really stick with it. You have to be willing to put something out there and not get a ranking. A lot of people, they'll put something up and say, oh, I didn't rank in 5 minutes, therefore I'm going to quit. This doesn't work. This takes persistence. It takes work. Even then, there's a lot of variables and a lot of things that happen. But going through and looking at the pipeline of how we're going to build this is super important. The first thing that I start with, a lot of people are like, oh, start with your passion, start with something you like, start with this, that, or the other, right? We have to look at that and we have to say, okay, well, why? Is that just because someone told me to? Is that because it sounds good? Or is it because it makes sense? This is important. I have coached a lot of people throughout the years in the world of blogging and making money and affiliate marketing and stuff like that. And I found that the struggles happen when they veer off the path too much, right? If they're like, oh, I got this new theme, and they spend 6 months trying to figure out how to make the theme work. And it's like, okay, well, is that theme even making you money? No. Well, you just set yourself back 6 months for no reason then. That's why we built this, and that's why I want to go through and look at how it works. The first thing I always do is get a niche and a domain. So for example, someone was talking about our high-ticket niche program. For example, one of the domains I'd probably use for the high-ticket niches would be something like this one here that I got at auction. I can give you the exact price if you guys are interested. I bought it for $40 plus the fee, so let's call it $55. We'll just round up to about $55. Now, this domain actually had some rankings. It's in the guitar niche. I thought it was pretty cool. It had quite a few rankings back in the day. I think it was, if we go 2 years or even 5 years, we'll see the history of it, and you can see the rankings that it had. And I'm like, okay, you know, I got a lot of students who do guitar. When getting an auction domain or expired domain, it's very important that you use it for the same thing that it was for. I'm not going to take a restaurant and rank it for a bunch of junk just because it has backlinks. I'm going to take a restaurant and rank it for a restaurant or whatever it is. Something very specific. Obviously, in this one, we would want to stay with the idea of guitar stuff and things like that. So looking at that, I would take this and I would say, okay, here's my niche. So for me, what I usually do, unless I have a solid niche in mind, just about 2 weeks ago, I bought a domain name. I think it was like $3,500, and I bought that one specifically for a niche, even though it didn't have rankings and backlinks, because I have a specific idea for it, right? That's where it comes into play. Are we going for free traffic SEO, or are we going to do a different way? If you're going to do a different way, you can get whatever domain you want. If you're doing SEO, it helps to start with a domain that works. Now, sometimes the two will meet. I think it was about a year ago, I bought WPCity.com, which is a domain about WordPress. It had some rankings, which, funny, it looks like a cat or something, right? Very interesting looking graph there. But WP City was about WordPress stuff. It had some rankings, it had some traffic. We built it up, it works really good. That's the one I'm gonna be showing you guys today so that you can see exactly how this works. We'll just pull up WP City over here, right, like this, and boom, here we go. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be building it. Now, first of all, I want you to note the new look. Okay, this is the new look. It looks kind of funny right now because I don't have the background or anything set up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how our plugin works, how our themes work, and how everything guides you every step of the way. One of the big things that people have when it comes to blogging is they get so hung up on how it looks, right? They get obsessed with it. They're like, oh, I need Elementor, I need this. And those can be good. Personally, for me, I find them to be distracting. I don't want to learn a new platform. I want something that's easy. So what I wanted, we used to have a format like this, and this is based on hundreds of millions of visitors coming to my blogs over 25 years. This is what I learned, and I'll say blogs and websites because some of that time was before blogging. Yes, I've been doing this since like the dinosaurs of the internet were doing this. But at any rate, what I wanted is I wanted something with a simple header, and I wanted the header to be optional. Yes, no. I also wanted it to be red headline, and then I wanted the text to be good in Arial font, blue links, bold where I want bold, very easy. Then I'm going to go through, and I'm going to say I want a footer, okay? Also, I want an optional sidebar. Okay, so I want an optional sidebar. So that's what we did here, right? We got the basic layout, optional sidebar. You can see it is, in fact, updated here. We have our sticky header. So I changed it to a sticky header just because a lot of people were like, hey, we want our header to be up there. Like I had my header down here in the footer just because it converts better. However, we have been testing with this header, which is called a sticky header. That's why it doesn't scroll with the site. And we've been getting pretty good results. Also, we have the menu up here and everything like that, logo in the header as well. So this is a layout that has been getting good results for us. And then what I wanted is something customizable. I don't want to have to download 50 different things. I don't want to have all these things. I mean, I've used page builders. I liked them, but then when they break really bad, and it's just not good. You can't fix things. It's a pain. Just today I was trying to update the Blog Profit Network one, and the page thing didn't even have something on the editor, but it did on the website. And I'm like, okay, well, I really can't delete it because it doesn't show up there, which was a pain. So starting to look at that was the key. Also, I wanted to make sure like tables and stuff looked good, didn't look funny. So what I did is I came up with this plugin. I'll show you guys where to get it as well. It was the Blog Profit Network Setup plugin, aptly named because the idea is, hey, set up your blog so that you could start. So first things first, what we want to do is we want to get a niche and domain. If you were to look at something like free guitar source, okay, I'm going to pull this up in another window just to make sure that the rankings are family friendly here. Let's do top pages, and I'll do the peak. So it was actually getting a lot of traffic, and this looks great. So for a guitar course, this is actually kind of perfect, right? And to get this for $50 is pretty good. And we could see it ranked for like different types of scales and stuff like that. Okay, so it ranked for all kinds of stuff, blues riffs, guitar games, all kinds of stuff there. That's pretty good. And it actually did have traffic. Back in the day, it was getting about 2,600 visitors a month just from Google alone. So see how this gives me a head start? If that makes sense, type head start. We'll get it going, get it rocking and rolling, and go from there. But if you see how the head start works, this is basically giving me that head start where I could pick up and get ranked fairly quickly. Much like the domain I bought, WP City, we bought it. We buy them in the dip, as it's called, right? So I got this roughly a year ago, and I bought it right here in the dip. Okay, I had like 4 rankings when I bought it. But I bought it because it used to have a lot of rankings, and that's what I wanted to tackle. So going through there, we bought it in the dip. Now, WP City was a bit more expensive. This one cost me about $3,000. But WP City, it's brandable, doesn't have a trademark, but it is tied to WordPress, which I thought was cool. Again, different places have different rules of what you can and can't do with brands or acronyms or whatever. This one I did research before I bought it because that's pretty pricey no matter who you are. You know, you gotta make sure you're gonna get an ROI on your investment. Even if it's small, make sure you're getting an ROI. And you could see that within, I think it was within a couple of weeks of setting it up, I think it was actually instant, but we'll say a couple of weeks because that's what this says, we started picking up the rankings again. And it's pretty cool because it's got all these different things about WordPress and stuff like that, like this one here, WP Site Care. That's a pretty good ranking because that leads to different WordPress stuff that goes on, right? So now we're getting ahead, we're making it work, we're ready to go. So now all I have to do is go through and put content on the pages that were. So I just go to top pages, I get those pages, and boom, there we go. Right? We even rank for some stuff about Fiverr and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Now, looking at that, all I got to do is basically color in the lines, build it up, and then grow it. Okay, I've done this a ton of times. It works really well. So once we choose our niche and domain, okay, we're going to get that at GoDaddy or wherever you want. Again, if you're doing an idea versus like I want something with the rankings, I would then get the idea. Then what we need to do is we need to make sure that our content management system is ready and set up, and then make a plan for content. The content management system is super important because this is how your blog is going to run. Now, with the new Blog Profit Network plugin, I'll show you how this works and why it's important. And it is a work in progress, so we're adding to this all the time. I just added a bunch of stuff to it this morning, and I'll show you the AI-enabled stuff. So basically, it'll give you the checklist, but then when you go to like the title generator, which is AI-enabled, that's going to pop up the actual AI tool, which you would want Blog Profit Network for. But I'm going to show you why this is so cool, because it's basically like if I was hiding in your blog helping you out, this is what we do. Now, the checklist here, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that all of these work. Okay, so for the Aweber form generator, again, here it is here. We have an Aweber form code on our site. If you're not using Aweber, you can pretty much use whatever you want for your autoresponder or no autoresponder. Depends on what you're trying to do, but that does help. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through this as a checklist, thinking about your site, your blog. What do I want to do? First, add Aweber. Once you're done with that, okay, you generate the code. This would generate the code. Say we're going to do an opt-in. You could say, make money with WordPress. You'd have a subheadline, get SEO traffic, find hot offers, make more money, download plugins or whatever, right? You're just going to make it up here, and then you put your Aweber list name in here, and then your thank you page. It'll go through, and it'll generate whatever it is you want, right? So super, super cool. wpcity.com/thankyou.php or whatever it is, okay? So what this is going to do is it's literally going to walk you through the whole process, and then as you get in and building your site, it's going to be really cool. So now we're going to go through, generate the page. It'll generate the code for you, and then you just paste that right into your Aweber. Now, it does take a minute because the AI is actually working behind the scenes. But what you're going to do is you're going to go down the list. So add the Aweber, download the theme. So you literally just download the theme. So the first thing you do is install this plugin so that it'll tell you what to do, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go find a theme. No, no, no. Do this. Then you download the theme. Boom. It's going to download it right there. Save. And then theme upload. You literally just drag and drop it in there, and you're good to go. All right, then you're going to create your title and slogan. Now, this one is important. You're going to go to Settings General, which right here, it's got it right there, and you're going to set your title as per what you want. So we'll generate a title for entire website. WP City, blog site about WordPress, tools, plugins, make money or whatever, okay? Describe your target audience, bloggers, entrepreneurs, and stuff like that. And then it's going to go through, it'll generate your title and everything like that. Very simple, very easy, walks you through it all. then you just add it in here. WordPress tools, make money with WordPress or whatever, okay? Then you go through and you're good to go. Everything's done, okay? It's going to walk you through everything. Then change your permalinks. You're going to go to permalinks. You're going to hit post name. Boom. See how this is just walking you through? How many of you guys find this easier? Okay, and I'll have this checklist. You can either use it as a plugin or just use the checklist. We'll have them in the notes. Then when you go to install recommended plugins, it's going to have plugins here that we recommend with links to download them. Now, some of them are Blog Profit Network plugins. Some of them are free plugins. We'll have them all there for you as well. But going through this setup is good. Then you're going to set your home page. Again, this will go to settings, readings. Make sure you have everything good there. Add a home page, about us, and thank you page. This is the process. Basically, what you're doing is you are setting up your funnel, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way, when you start getting traffic, you're ready to go. Because a lot of people, they'll set it up, and they're not really ready to go. They need to build it even more. Now, we're going to get to the fun part in just a minute. We're going to save the settings, and then you just go to the next tab, General. And again, remember, this is about the flow. So now we're going to go through, and we're going to generate headers and logos and stuff like that. If you wanted to generate a logo, this is where the AI would actually go in. You could do WP City, blog, make money tools or whatever, right? And it'll go through and it'll have all this here. You could say simple logo, easy, whatever. And it has my parameters in it. So one of the cool things about this is the tools actually have the parameters of what I want. So like the prompts I use are in that. There's specific things I want, like I want white background, I want it to be a certain size, I have a certain type of idea of what I want, and the AI now knows it because it is in that tool. So I'm going to go ahead and generate the logo. I'm just going to do it off screen because you never know what AI is going to give you. Want to make sure it's all on the up and up here. But as you're going through there, let's say you want to do that. Now that one got a little bit weird. I'd probably go through and do it even better. You could see it has, okay, make more colorful and icons. Make sure WP City is spelled right. Okay, so we'll just regenerate that, and you can get the image the way you want, and then just download it, and you're good to go. This makes it super simple. Now, if you don't want the full version, you can use ChatGPT and this plugin and just upload your own. I'll show you how easy it is. So there we go. That's kind of cool looking. So let's say we wanted this logo here. Okay, I think I can probably save image as, right like that. And then I'll probably just open it in my editor so I can get the small version of it. So let's do open with this here. And I don't think I added the other part yet. I had the other part where you can actually download it, which makes it easier. But we'll see here. Now, I would probably also remove the trademark because I don't have a trademark for that. So we'll just do like that. And then I would do file save as, WP City logo, right like that. Okay? Again, you can go to ChatGPT, whatever AI you like. You can do the same thing. If you don't want to pay for the big plugin, you can do the same thing with AI and the free version. So then what I do is I just go through and upload the logo. So we'll go media, and I'll just do add media, and then we drag and drop that file in there. Let's see where it's at. Right like that. It'll drag and drop it in here. Then all I do is copy this, go back to my plugin, boom, there's our logo. Once I hit save, you will see on the site somewhere, right, here we go. Go to the site here, you're gonna see it now adds the logo. Really cool. How many of you guys are like, dude, this is so simple, it's not even funny? And again, you could do this with whatever you want, which is pretty simple, okay? So you go through and do that. Is there a workaround to Aweber? Yeah, you could use whatever you want. All you need to have is the code. I just use Aweber because their code is universal. It's easier to use. It's pretty simple. All right, now going through, again, you can go to ChatGPT or use the tool within here. I like the tool within here because it has my parameters. Again, that's the key, right? Anyone can go to AI and generate stuff. You have to know what you're generating when you're generating it to make it work, okay? Then we're going to go through, and someone says, isn't this a landing page? What's the content? All of the same, okay? So pages are going to be for landing pages. Posts are going to be for our SEO content. I'll show you how that works in just a minute, and we will have control over them. Now, in addition to being able to do this, you can also select your header bar color. So if you wanted it to be blue, I could just do save, and you'll see it'll just start changing it and making it completely customizable. This is, I mean, I worked like crazy on this, and we will have a version. It just won't have the AI-enabled stuff. It'll be the theme you can use. Now, I'm going to use a white background on that because that just makes it easier. And then you could set your size of it as well, or you could hide it completely. Then we went through and had it hide the metadata. I'm going to show you why this is important. If I was to go, let's go to a post. Okay, let's go to a different post, like right here. Right here, see how this little arrow is? Okay, these are the next post things, and I have to comment those out. But at any rate, what we do is we allow it to hide the next and the author and all of that. Watch. If I save this, you're going to see those are there. And these are things that people struggled with. Like every week, it would go through. Someone is saying, why not go with an AI build? Because we want it super specific. People that work with me, they know I am very dogmatic on the things I want a certain way. Everything else I'm pretty lenient on. This is a dogmatic thing. I want it to work a certain way. It needs to work a certain way. Having an AI theme is going to change it every time, everything like that, okay? So now we're going through, and you'll see if I save it with, let's put this over here just to make it easier. If I save it with the not hiding, so let's not hide them, it should bring them back. See how those are there? I don't want those. Okay, this is basic WordPress stuff that using it to sell, this kind of doesn't really do it for me, right? Those are just going to distract people. So I wanted to have those with the option of getting rid of them, okay? Next up, it allows you to change the font of this stuff here, okay? Very important. This is super, super important. This stuff where if you go to an AI theme builder or whatever, I mean, you're not going to get this eventually, maybe, but wouldn't you rather just have it like, boom, these are the things I need. This is what I want. All right, next up, you could do the weight and everything like that. Someone says, I struggled with ChatGPT updating my website. It makes a lot of mistakes. 100%. Yeah, it will make mistakes. Now, going through here, you can do your top page padding. That is the space between the header and the start of the page. Okay, so this here. So if we were to make that less, I could say, okay, 25. And then if I go through and, let's see, hide these, yes, save, should update it there. There we go. Okay, simple. Very nice, very good. Easy on the eyes. That's what we want. We want easy on the eyes. Next up, on the general page, we're going to do a background image. Now again, I have a background tool that can use AI to make a background. Again, very specific to what we want. Or you could use the one that I made with AI. I actually used that background one to make this one. I thought it was pretty nice. You just copy the URL. Once you're done with it, you go to here, pop it right in there, save, and your blog's going to start coming together really nicely. How many of you guys are like, dude, that's easy? It's easy to look at. This makes sense. And then we can go through and put your affiliate offers and stuff like that. Super simple. How many of you guys are liking this so far? Does it make it easier for you? Type easy if you're getting it. And again, we will have the list and everything so that you can use it. Now, going through even more, that was a general tab. Then we go through the menu. This was important to me because WordPress by default has a menu that's going to show the pages that you have, which is a pain, and it doesn't work good, right? It's a pain. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have the ability to change it to whatever I want. So like if I don't want blog, contact, or anything like that, boom, I just do that, save, and we're good to go. Okay? Makes it very simple. That's what we want. Low barrier of entry, simple, easy to get content out, easy to change content, easy to make all this stuff work. We don't want the barriers of the tech stuff. That's what most people struggle with, and that's why they give up. Next up, you're going to have fonts. This is the font setting I use on all my blogs. It's baked into this tool. You don't got to worry about it. If you want to change it later, you can. If you're like, oh, I want my body text to be 18 and I want it to be bold, right? You would just save that. It'll change everything for you. Boom, there you go. Okay? Super simple. This is like one and done, easy, nothing to worry about. Let's do, I think it was 14, was it? And then we'll get rid of the bold, font, normal, save. So what it's doing is it's allowing you to customize the things that we actually care about. Other plugins and tools, they make it able to change everything, and it's like, okay, I don't want to. Like, there's a software that I've paid as much as like $4,000 a month for, and the thing is like the equivalent of running the Space Center, and I only use a small fraction. So like if they taught me how to use that small fraction, I'd actually be more efficient with the tool versus having to learn everything. Most people are trying to learn everything rather than just the stuff they need. This is important. As an entrepreneur, you need to guard your time, and if you're spending all your time trying to figure out things that don't matter, you're going to struggle. Esteem says, do you get lifetime access when you sign up with BPN? So when you're in BPN, as long as you're a member, you can log in and use the AI tools. If you're not a member, this will still work. You'll just go here and you'll be like, oh, the title generator wants me to log in. I don't have access to that. Everything else will work. So like if you go there, set it up the way you want, there you go, you're good to go. So that's how that works. Now, if you want to stay a member, which I think you will, because I mean, we have it to where we have AI tools I'm gonna show you in a minute, which are part of my blog tool stack, which I think you're going to find much more worthwhile, and you'll probably get a lot more out of them than like your typical $30 or $50 AI subscription, because these are using our AI, so you don't even need to have 1 million subscriptions like me. I currently pay way too much for AI subscriptions, but this will actually do that for you. This is not available in AI Profit Scoop. There's a free version available, but the AI-enabled version is only Blog Profit Network. Now, going through here, we did the fonts, and then we do the footer. Okay, the footer, I usually like to put my header in the footer, just because it just makes it easy. And then you can put your footer content, your disclaimers, your affiliate stuff, all that. So let's see what our blog looks like. Let's go to our homepage. We got WP City at the top, nice logo. We have WP City at the bottom. We can put our disclaimers here. Looking good, looking great. All of our fonts and everything look fantastic. Very simple, okay? So that is the main layout of how this works. We have our sidebar here, which is controlled by other plugins and things like that. You'll see the plugins that we recommend and everything like that. Then advanced will allow you to do CSS. So what this did, even though it looks like just, oh, hey, we're just fixing up a blog, what we did is we made a funnel. A lot of people didn't see that, but behind the scenes, I set it up to where this blog is now a funnel, and it's all based on easy stuff that will work and actually get you the people, right? That's what we want. We want to get people in, get them to convert, build things that will actually make money. Now, going through also, as you're building this up, you're going to see we have the theme, we have the plugin there, so that's pretty much when you're done with that one. On the other side, what I did, and this we're actually working on making this more robust, is I went through on Blog Profit Network Tools, which puts this on your dashboard. So it's kind of like a good morning, blogger, here's what you do next. And it has links to all the things we want, including a content tool, which is really cool. This content tool will allow you to take your content. So like you would just go through and say, oh, hey, you know what? Today I'm working on this blog post. Maybe you got this blog post about, let's say, AI Yoast or whatever. Okay, you would take that content. All right, and we have another one that just pipes right into it. But this isn't that hard. You just copy the content right like that. You're going to put that into the tool, and this will actually give you stuff. So let's say you put a blog post up. This is where you're going to go from making a passive blog that doesn't make anything to promoting content like you mean it. If you're a blogger, you are a content promoter. That's what you are. So you want to be able to say, well, my Yoast post There we go. It sounds like Dr. Seuss, right? The Yoast post. My Yoast post didn't do that good. I have no rankings on it. That's terrible. Oh my gosh, I wasted all that time making that content. Well, did I or did I not? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool, the Yoast tool, or not the Yoast tool, the blog social media idea generator, and we're going to say, what do I want to do? Well, let's say I wanted to do a Pinterest post. Okay? This is going to give us Pinterest ideas based on our content, which makes it very, very simple, right? So now we have AI-powered SEO, boost your rankings with Yoast, boom, optimize your content. So it gives you all the ideas, and it'll spin it for if I want all ideas. Boom, it'll do all that for me. So what it's doing is it's allowing you to understand it. So what can we learn from this? All right, well, one, having this tool is going to really help you. Two, what we can learn from it is we need to go out there and we need to syndicate content. I need to go out there and syndicate my content. If it's not ranking on Google SEO, well, what else can I do with it? Can I put a Facebook post and get people to it? As long as it's a helpful content, why not promote it? Can I do a press release if it's press release worthy? Can I do this, that, or the other and make this thing grow and build? This is super important because a lot of people, they think blogging is just, oh, set up a bunch of content, whatever. What we're doing is we're starting with a blog that has rankings, and then we're building on that. So WP City, it's got traffic. Like you go through, you look at the traffic plugin, and it has traffic. Like I don't got to worry about that. It's already there. Do I have a traffic plugin on here? I think I do. Very simple. Or like my one about the stuff for the, what do you call it? Easy video, or the video explainer videos, right? That one had traffic, and you go through and make it work, and it actually gets traffic right now. I don't know if I have the logins for it on this, but let's see. So like this one here, yes, it does have logins, nice. And then I have another one. So this is something that, I mean, we do this stuff all the time, and it works really well. And having that structure is what's going to help you. So going through here, we can see this one. I haven't done anything on it in a while, but it's actually getting visitors. So last 30 days, we had like 1,500 visitors. Haven't really done much, just added some content. Got a lot to do on it, but, you know, you just go through and look at what's going on and build it up. About 100 visitors a day so far. Looks like it's growing. Pretty cool. Some others that I did, I think I did one a while back, which was the economics one. Let's see how that one's doing. I haven't checked it in a while. Oh, nice. Okay, so it is picking up rankings. So you can see how this works. Again, this was a $50 domain. And you can see here, so let's do 6. I bought it 2 months ago, I think it was. So see, we gained a lot of rankings since 2 months. And we could see what it ranks for. A lot of it is economics. See, we bought it in the dip, start to build it up. What's the idea behind this? Well, it's a site about explaining economics terms. That's what this is about. So if I had a blog post about, you know, this certain type of economic term and what it means, then I can go through and make that work, right? Very simple, very cool. Someone says, how do we get as many hits as Mr. Beast? As many views? Well, you need to go and do big videos, but you probably won't. The average person does not get that much views. And do you want that much views? Like he's got a big, huge, to replicate what he did based on what he's doing now is going to be very difficult, right? Because there's a certain way he did it at the time he did it that worked. If you try to do that now, like I guarantee if someone spent as much money to make a video and it was their first video, they probably wouldn't get the traction. Like a lot of people think the more money you have, the better it's going to work. It's not necessarily the right way to look at it. We have to look at what am I going to do? If I can go out there and spend millions of dollars to make a video, is that going to be a better use of my time than doing something specific for a specific audience? No. We want to do something specific. We want to go through and make that work. But looking at that, you know, we're taking it and saying, okay, how do we build this? How do we grow it? How do we make it work in a real world way based on stuff that actually works and things that are going to make money, right? When you look at it like, okay, WP City, how many of these rankings are actually going to make me money? Well, this is about Bluehost. They have a good affiliate program. That could work. This is about some kind of Astra thing. They probably have an affiliate program. This kind of stuff can work pretty well if we do it the right way. And that's what we got to do. It's something about Fiverr. Fiverr has a good affiliate program. So these are direct hits. Could I rank for like, what is WordPress? Yeah. Would I want to rank for that? Probably not. So we have to really look at what we want and where we are going to spend our time. This is super, super important. Now, when we go through that, we have our blog laid out the way we want it. And now we can go through and start creating things that are going to work. Now, when we do that, we're going to go through the niche, the domain, blog setup, which is where we're at now, and then we're going to do content creation. So if I was going to go through and use that guitar site, this one's a little bit of a pain. You have like the guitar source, minor, whatever, all that stuff. So it's going to take a little bit of work, which is why I made this other plugin where you could bulk upload content and change the URLs and the slugs. But what I would want to do here is I'd want to make all these pages. So this one had 355 pages as of this day, 344, 163. So what I would do is I go here, I get a snapshot, 357. I get a snapshot here, 359. Get a snapshot over here, and boom. Then what I do is I go to my tools, and these tools are all going to be added in the plugin and in Blog Profit Network. Some of them will be on AI Profit Scoop. Like, we have a lot of tools over there, so check for those. But this one actually goes through, I think it was it the keyword extractor? No, it was one of these here. Let me see if I can find it. Basically took all of the rankings there. What was it? Transcript, PDF, niche. Maybe it was Niche Vision, I think, one of these. I don't know if this does multiple. I think it does. So what you would do is you would just take those keyword reports, right, like this. I drag them in here, drag the next one. Let's see, where'd downloads go? Edge has weird downloads. Take the next one, boom. All right, like that. Take the last one, boom. Okay, and what this does is it gives me a list of all the pages without duplicates. So we'll go in and I'll say generate direct titles. Why do I want direct titles? This is super, super important because I want it to match whatever this was. Right, because it needs to be exact if you're gonna capture the rankings back. So we'll do generate. Here's our list. I would need to create for this site roughly like a lot of traffic. This will actually go through and it'll like remove duplicates and stuff like that as well. Let's see if there's any duplicates on this one. One. Yeah, so there are a couple duplicates. I don't know if they're in this list. Yeah, there's a couple. So we'd use the duplicate remover to remove the duplicates, and then boom, there's my content strategy. Done deal. This will also give you an overview of the content, show you a keyword wheel, and all kinds of stuff, guitar stuff, right, like that. And I think that's where, let's do guitar, riffs, generate slogans. And then what will happen is when you do the primary niche, it's going to give you the overview of what the content's like, which is cool. And what you need to do if you want to do blogging like you mean it, you need to understand your niche very good. You need to understand where the traffic is, and you need to build and grow. So what we're doing is we're going through and saying, okay, niche and domain, this is our core, this is what we're doing. Okay, in the guitar one, I would go guitar stuff. Well, Marcus, what if I want to do ukulele? Well, is that part of the traffic? Then if it's no, then don't do it. Very simple. Then we're going to go through, set up the blog. You're going to use that Blog Profit Network setup plugin. Boom, done deal. Then you're going to create content, which is actually pretty simple. Like going through and making good content isn't that hard. Like let's say I wanted to do Leonard Skinner. Or let's see if there's one that's more specific here. This one. Okay, so I would just go through with an AI, and we have tools like this that would do it, but you could go to Gemini or whatever it is you want and say, what is the intent of someone looking up this? Get the intent. And the key to making good content with AI is have a conversation with it. Learn about it. Say, hey, what do you think about this keyword? Why would someone search for it? Okay, cool. What would they want? Okay, great. What would that look like? And then you build everything in a really cool way. Mark says, BPN is being resurrected with the addition of the AI toolbox. And if I'm not mistaken, same price. Yes, we did not change the price on it. Still the same price. We're completely redoing it. Like, it's not even going to be recognizable. The old BPN was outdated and didn't do much with it. It had good stuff. We updated our plugins and had our weekly calls. But now we're going through and making everything AI-enabled, making a lot of plugins, making a lot of tools, making everything very, very hands-on and straightforward. So now we see, here's the intent. Great. Now let's make a blog post about this with tables and a Johnson box at top, ECT. And these are things that'll go through and make it very, very simple for you to do, okay? The tools on AI Profit Scoop, so there should be a tools link in there, and there are some tools in there, just not all of them. So you'd have to look at those. But yeah, now we're go through and start building this, and then you just do it as a post. Now you could go through and make these as posts just by post, add post, put your title in, put your stuff there. Now, in addition to the plugin, even on the free version, we're going to have a little content checklist over here so that you know, hey, this is what we do. How do we make that work? Someone says, is BPN and AI Profit Scoop the same? They are not. BPN is a upgraded version, which is for blogging. AI Profit Scoop is just some AI tools and calls and stuff like that. So now, going through here, what you're going to do is you're going to work on getting the traffic. So as you go through, you're going to do content creation, see where it ranks, optimize it. If it does not rank, remember the idea is to get the traffic to the post and make something good that you could go and share. Like, is it good? Could you make a blog post about it? Could you make a video about it? Could you make an image about it for Pinterest? Could you make a video about it for TikTok? Making good stuff that will help and then breaking it up. We have some other tools we're going to embed in this as well. One of them was this tool here. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. This one here where you could go through and take your blog post and it'll actually split it up into multiple stuff. So watch this. We just go here, and we put it right in here, and then you could have a title. I title it because it's easier, so you do like Yoast post, and that way, when we save it, it's easier. Okay, so we're going to go through, analyze transcript, and then boom, it's going to give you a whole breakdown. And I mean, how many of you guys find this easier than having to do every step in ChatGPT itself, right? If you're like, hey, I like just putting it in and saying, oh, here's the notes, here's the key points, here's the quotes, here's the shorts, right? This one goes through and it's like, if you want to make a short video, this is going to go through and give you the timestamps and everything. It's going to understand it. Boom, ready to go, right? So AI is changing SEO forever. Are you ready? Right? That's a pretty good one. Right? How many of you guys are like, hey, this is pretty cool, right? Works really, really, really well. Next, we have Pinterest pins. It'll give you Pinterest pin ideas and everything. Now, the download button is something we added new because I wanted to have it create a full overview so that I could save it with the original blog post in it. So looking at that is absolutely key because what it's going to do is it's going to help you think like a content promoter, not just a guy trying to get free rankings. A lot of people think blogging is just about trying to get free rankings and whatever. Let's use AI to put a bunch of slop content out. That's not what this is about. This is about direct targeting. If I have a good piece of content, you bet I want to promote it. I want to go out there and promote it like I mean it and make it build and grow and really follow through with the process of, okay, now let's get some traffic to it. Now let's build a mailing list. Let's get some affiliate offers and things like that where we're going through and making it work and saying, okay, What is the best affiliate offer for this content? Yoast. Okay, does Yoast have an affiliate program? That's something I can use, right? Or something like that. Let's say new chat. Does Yoast have an affiliate program? This is what you want to do. Go through, get your domain up, make good content, get it ranking, get traffic, and then think about how you're going to make it better. Right? Like, okay, does Yoast have an affiliate program? Well, that's the direct hit affiliate program. Are there others? Is there a keyword tool that has an affiliate program? Is there a other SEO tool? Is there an SEO service you can offer? Or whatever it is very, very, very important. So there we go through and say Yoast SEO. And it'll go through and do that for you. And then you can go through and have like little call to actions, and here's a breakdown of the best stuff and things like that. Okay, very simple, very easy. We got to focus on it. Now, again, going through, if I have something good, now that I have this post, okay, so I have the Yoast post, I got my affiliate offers on it. Now I could go through and use something like this tool and have it create different things based on SEO tips, right? Like I can go to here and say, let's do new chat and say, tell me 100 easy SEO tips I can use with AI. And it'll go through and be like, oh, structure your images, do that, do this. Those are all posts I can get back to my big blog post, which is selling Yoast or whatever it is I want. Very strategic. How many of you guys are getting the strategy in the box if you're getting it? And building and growing this is key. You're gonna need, for most of you guys, if you wanna make decent living using blogging, you're gonna need more than just SEO. You're gonna have to promote it. You're gonna have to maybe get videos going, maybe get some Pinterest going, stuff like that. Can you do it with just a generic blog? You can. I've seen people do it. It's not very fast. It takes a lot of work. And I would say you're doing the work to make the content anyway. You might as well promote it good. Like, why not? Why not go out there and take this list and maybe share it with people? Find people also ask terms. Okay, cool. So now I can go through and make a post about that. Get them back to my stuff. And then I can even make a post where I get them to opt in. I mean, think about this. I can go through. Now that I have my blog set up the way I want it, I can go through and systematically make good content about these tips, drive them back to this post. Let's say I go here and I'm like, okay, this is why it's so easy. Because now, and again, it's not the making money that's easy. That's the harder part. It's easy to control your blog because you set it up the way that I showed you. So now I can go through and say pages, all pages. Let's say I want to go through and I'm like, okay, well, I want to promote that. So I'd go here, edit. I think this is the right one, hopefully, yeah. So now I'd edit, copy, let's make a new page, and we'll call this 100 SEO tips that actually work. Boom. Put the code in there, go to visual. Now I got this all ready to go, right? Get the notes here. So I'd say, download your 100 SEO tips here. SEO tips guide, put in your bullet points, good to go. Then all you'd have to do is change your thank you post so that they go to your thank you post for the 100 tips versus going to the thank you post for whatever else you're taking them to. And then bada bing, you're good to go. Now I could drive a bunch of people here and already have that back end of all that stuff with everything, right? So we're like, okay, there we go. Boom, done deal. Now we look at this and we're like, download your 100 SEO tips here. I would probably remove the sidebar on this one, but you could have it if you want. Download your 100 SEO tips, good to go. Now, using other tools, I would say if you wanted to make this even easier or more straightforward, I could go and use something like Manus, and I could say make a slideshow about these tips, right? So I just take this here, and I go to Manus, wherever Manus is, there he is, and say make slides one for each tip, vibrant with strategies, and my URL at bottom, wpcity.com. Make them portrait for social media. Watch how cool this is. So now we'll go through, we'll put this here, and I'm just going to give it, let's just give it 3 of them, because otherwise we're going to be waiting all day. But if I gave it 100, and by all day I mean like an hour or 2. If I gave it all these, okay, so we'll give it the 3. Boom. It should do it here. We'll use the agent. And then what it'll do is it'll generate some good posts. And again, this is all about using the AI to think differently, using the AI to make things that are very, very, very specific. Because then when we go through, like this one here where I made a slideshow for career tips, right? I went through it, did all the slideshow for us. Now, I'd probably do better and have it do other stuff. Here's a social media slideshow here. This was for the video I did the other day, right? Steps to money mastery, limit to 1 opportunity, unsubscribe from newsletters, choose 1 mentor for 90 days, block social media. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's one where it's like, yeah, that would work good on social media. There you go. Very simple. Now, the cool part about this is when you're done, that's good, looking for images there. But the cool part about this is when you're done, you're going to have something that you can use and create. So like here's one here. Let's see, marketing strategies. You can see it's got a whole bunch there. There was another one I did, AI quotes. So this is one I did on AI quotes, I think. There was one I had with like a bunch of them. Maybe this one. Yeah, so like this here, this was about Fed rate stuff, okay? What I did is I made it to where you can download a PDF from it, right? And then the tools that we created, this is one that is in AI Profit Scoop right now. I think it's this one here. Watch how cool this is. You just take your download, okay? And you're like, okay, I need to promote this stuff. I need to make it work. I drag it in here when I'm ready. So first, let's put awesome slogan, get more economics tips. And then I put economicsexplainer.com, drag my PDF. No matter if it's 3 or 300, it's going to create them right like this, where boom, this is what it looks like. Get more economic tips, economics explainer. This is something I can post on social media right now and just drive them back to the blog post, right? Put the tips in the comments or whatever, drive them back, make it very simple. The key is making information in a different way, whereas most people are out there just making blog posts and things like that that are boring. We want to make good stuff that people are going to want. If it's guitar stuff, what can I do? How can I drive them back to my site for value? How can I build that mailing list? Well, now I'd have all those 100 SEO tips leading back to this page, build that mailing list so they get all of them. And what do I give them? Well, when it's done, I'm going to have a PDF of all of them. I can just give them all of them. And then you can get them into all kinds of other things and stuff that they want. The key is in building on what you've done before. Look at this. This is doing a great job. Discover untapped keywords. And it'll do all of them. And I'll come back and it'll have a bunch of them in like an hour, which is great. And then I could start to use them. Compounding and building and growing is key. Brian says, does Blog Profit Network AI create tables, images, charts? We haven't added that yet. It probably will be something we add in the future. Again, we're really just getting started with the possibilities of what we can do with this. And I'm blown away. Like the ability to just to have something that leads you through this strategy and allows you to log in and make it work. I mean, it's game changer because now you can go through and make it work. Mark says, so the new BPN would be perfect to set up a new blog site as well as an easy makeover. Exactly, it's for both of them, which is great. And that's the idea. It's like, okay, how can we make it to where you're gonna know what to do? Because it's what you do on a daily basis that's going to get you ahead. If you want to build a business, it's what you do that matters. And what I mean is, like, most people are out there just blogging and creating images and layouts without any rhyme or reason. We want to go through and have a reason. And that's why with Blog Profit Network, we have live calls every week, we have trainings, we have tools, everything. What AI APIs are included in BPN AI? We don't include APIs. We use APIs, so we're going to pull from Gemini, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and several others. Just depends on what we're building and growing. We're looking into doing some keyword stuff as well, which is cool. Okay, so going through that and making it work and understanding, okay, I just need to follow and set up my blog in a way that's going to work. I need to directly drive people to the things that's going to make me money. I need to focus on getting traffic to it and really look at how I'm going to build and grow, and then use those tools so that I can go ahead. And then really looking at, like, okay, how do I get traffic to it? Think about it this way. Okay, I want you to forget you're a blogger for a minute. Okay, everyone forget you're a blogger for just a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to forget we're a blogger, and I'm going to pretend, I want you to pretend you have a really good piece of content. Maybe you have that 100 SEO tips report, or maybe you have a guide on how to buy a house without getting ripped off, okay, or a guide on how to save money. Okay, so you have something good that people want. Okay, you have something good people want. That's it. Forget about your blog for a minute. How are you going to get people to this? What are you going to do? Are you just going to wait around for Google? Maybe. Okay, I'm going to buy a domain. That'll jumpstart it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and actively promote it. If I have something good I know works, let's make a video on the 100 SEO tips. Like, I can go through and I can make a little short video on how each of these tips works. I mean, Manus is already going through and making the slides for me, so making a short video on that is not going to be hard to do. And it has to do with making content that actually works, following your traffic, looking where they're at, building and growing. If you want to hit a good amount with blogging, you need to work like you mean it. You got to stop just, like, unfortunately, most people who buy blogs and set up blogs and websites, they don't do anything with them. I know, I track it, right? Most people don't do anything. Like the gym. Most people have a gym membership, but the vast majority do not go. And when we look at exactly what's going on and what people are doing, they're just expecting Google to give them a bunch of free traffic and whatever. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, I have a blog I'm looking at right now that has a bunch of top 10 rankings for a very highly competitive market. I'll show you how competitive this market is. Let's do, let's see if I can go to SpyFu. And this is someone who got a niche from us years ago, has done nothing with it, and they're still ranking. Okay, so if I was to do, let's do, I think that's the right way to put it. Yeah, so this is the one that this gal ranks for. She got a high ticket niche from us. It still ranks today for over 430 keywords. It has not changed in years since we built it. We built it over 2 years ago. It actually gained rankings. Here it is here. Actually gained rankings. Look at that. Boom. It's growing. A lot of people are like, SEO doesn't work anymore. Look at how competitive it is. $16 a click, telling me that traffic's not valuable? Now, does that mean she's making $16 for every visitor to her site? Of course not. She's making nothing. She hasn't done anything with it. But that does tell us advertisers are willing to pay for that traffic. Ergo, if I could put the right offers on it, I think I could do pretty good. Does it mean you're going to get 16 click? No. That just tells you what people are paying. That's like saying if I go act on the side of the road, is Pepsi going to pay me $4 million? No. Will they pay American Idol $4 million? Or I think it's Coke that does that. Well, you're not American Idol. Same thing here, right? You have to look at this in real terms. If you're tired of all the junk and the garbage that's like, oh, hey, you're going to get rich tomorrow, just do this, it's wasting your time. Like, what we're looking at is a real plan to building and growing and really making this stuff work in a real world way. In BPN AI, how do we pay for AI credits, or just do we create with our own? You're going to be using mine, so the tools, we have it worked out to where it usually works itself out. So think of it like an AI tool, right? It's like we don't charge for credits or anything like that. We just have the tools in there. There's limits on some of them. So like the thumbnail generator, I think it limits you to like 5 a day, which if you're making more than 5 thumbnails a day, yeah, you need to rethink what you're doing because it's probably getting in the territory of spam. But what we have is we have all those tools in there, and it's using our stuff, right? So you, like a lot of people, some people are like, hey, I just have a Blog Profit Network. I don't even need an AI tool. Now, would that be me? No, I'd probably have both. As you can see, I have like a million tools. But to make it work, you got to understand the traffic. You got to understand where it's at, and build and grow. And what I would say do, because most people aren't looking to make a bazillion dollars blogging, what they're looking for is a straightforward system where they can get their first dollar. And that's what we're trying to do. How do you go out there and get your first dollar? We got Matt here who got a podcast domain from us. He's gotten some sales on that one. He's gotten sales on his other stuff. Again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. Most of the people who get courses and try this stuff, they make no sales. Why? Whatever reason. Some don't do anything, some work like crazy and just still don't get results. It has to do with finding where those results are and deliberately promoting things that's going to help people that we can create. And using AI, it does make it a lot more simple than ever before. In BPI, okay, we answered that one. Any other questions on this? Okay. But that's the flow. Building a mailing list is what's going to take you to the next level. That's really key. And then driving more traffic to it, not just relying on Google traffic. We're using our blog as a strategy hub. And if you could put your nose to the grindstone and really, that's a weird phrase. If you could really go out there and work and make it work, is that even a phrase? How do you say that? No, where does that phrase come from? Yeah, that is the actual term. That's weird. What does it mean? To work, study, or practice hard. That's a weird term. But at any rate, looking at that and understanding what's going on is key, because we want to work like we mean it. I want to do stuff that matters, not stuff that, is just, oh, hey, I made a bunch of faceless videos because that's what someone said. Can you do faceless videos with this process? Absolutely. But I'm not going to tell you to go and do Bible videos or whatever unless that's your niche, because a lot of that is going to be a lot of traffic people won't really care about unless you do it the right way. Think about this. Right now, YouTube's talking about demonetizing a lot of AI content, and I think that's a good move. Like, I'm tired of all the AI slop. It's just getting ridiculous, and taking away the incentive of monetization is probably a good move on their part. But going through and looking at it and saying, well, if I had a bunch of Bible videos, what if they were on specific stuff, not just, hey, here's Samson walking in the dirt. Instead, what if it was like, here are all the money lessons from the Bible. Go to my blog, which I now set up using this, and now I'm going to go through and get people to opt in for my money Bible verse webinar, class, book, guide, slides, whatever. Okay, does that make sense? It's setting up that hub, driving traffic from everywhere to that with the express purpose of what are we going to sell, what are we going to promote, how are we going to make money, right? That has to be there. If you're getting a domain, a blog, a niche idea, and you don't know how you're going to make money with it, don't do it. You don't know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing. And that's where this framework comes together. We start with the niche and domain, get a blog, content creation, SEO optimization, traffic, mailing list, put our profit centers on, use our plugins, use the AI tools to build it all up. Bada bing, bada boom, we are off to the races. This is the strategy I use. This is the format. Very simple. Have an opt-in, have other posts. Where do I send my mailing list people? Well, you send them to the post you made. That's what you do. You make it work. You build and grow on what you did the day before. Every content you do needs to be repurposed and used for something that you can actually profit with. So hopefully you enjoyed this training. If you want the basic theme, we will have that available when it's ready I'll email it out. If you want to be on the list for that, downloadmynotes.com. It'll be a basic one. The fully enabled one you can get at blogprofitnetwork.com. You can sign up there. You're ready to go. We're going to have all kinds of cool stuff there that'll help you as well. But you could obviously use the free framework and everything to start with that and go from there. We also have info on hosting and stuff like that. Will BPN create a niche or local directory website? So BPN in and of itself isn't really like a creation tool per se. Like it's not like Lovable or Bolt or something like that. It's more strategic stuff. When you ask the question, niche or local directory website, like I would say, what is it you're trying to do? Like what you're going to notice is that with marketing, answers lead to more questions, right? Like, will BPN create a directory site? Okay, well, what kind of directory site are you trying to do? If I'm doing one for, local hardware stores or something like something else, they're going to have a different plan, and I need to ask myself, why am I creating a directory site anyway? Is it because someone told me I need to create a directory site? That can kind of be a junk idea there. Heidi says, can you buy a bunch of domains and connect them? You can, but should you? Okay, are they related? No, I mean, I don't do that unless there's an absolute reason to do that. I would rather see you buy one good domain, build it up. That's what we do in our high-ticket niche program, where we set all this up for you, which is cool because now we're setting up the new HTNs with AI stuff on them, which is pretty awesome because it's going to go through and do that. Like if you got the guitar site, we would go through and be like, okay, let's get some content for it, let's build it up, and then we show you what to do after it's built and set up the right way so that you could go and build it. Matt says, got to be careful if you have a bunch of sites linking to each other. Yeah, I would say don't do that. I don't think that's a good strategy unless, maybe you have a site about guitar and then one about ukulele. Sure, they kind of make sense. But if you're just like making spam and junk, well, first of all, don't make spam and junk. Second of all, it's probably not a good idea to do that. So looking at that is really cool. Again, you can go to downloadmynotes.com. We will have the basic version available, and then all the notes and everything from this video, so you can go through and do blogging. Again, blogging as a process. Look at it as, I want to get an early win, whether that win is a ranking, a dollar, a post that looks good, something people like. Get that first win, and then double down, double down, double down, keep going, and don't look back. The problem is people they start one thing, they don't get the win, and then they go to another thing. Now, we're trying to make it even better by having a domain that's going like this one. It would have taken a long time to get these rankings if I didn't have this, right? But having this domain helped me out. Having the guitar domain, that'll help that out. We do this all the time where we're getting different domains and things people would want. I got one the other day for my addiction site. We got one for all kinds of stuff from like all kinds of stuff, just tons of things out there that work really well. So check out the links we have there, blogprofitnetwork.com. Definitely check that out. We are revamping it. It'll be ready probably towards the end of this month. It'll be completely ready, but we're going to start revamping it now. So if you get in there, you'll be the early people to use it. Larry says, as far as promoting your site, what does a booster mean? So a booster is something outside of your site that promotes your site. So think of it like this. If you have your site here and you have like Google rankings, okay, that's more or less like in your site, that's self-contained. What we want to do is branch out and say, okay, can I boost it by posting something on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, maybe a press release, maybe post on a forum, something like that. That's where all the boosters are, and that's where it works. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this training. A lot of good stuff here. Check out the links. Go make this work. Be realistic about it. Make sure your niche has the amount that you want if that's your goal, right? Like if I'm going after $1 million a year and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for, how to make baskets, I don't know, something simple that people aren't looking for. You got to make sure it has the amount in it, right? Does WordPress have that amount in it? Yeah, blogging is pretty popular. Does guitar? Yeah, but this traffic's not really money traffic. So it'd take a little bit of a sway to get people into, maybe buying a guitar or a course or something like that. But looking at that is key, and then look at it as a map. Where are BPN sites hosted? They're hosted on your own host. So you would need your own web hosting. We do not host websites. So check it out. If you guys got any questions, you know where to find us. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button.